In April of 1972, President Benson said,
"There is no conspiracy theory in the Book of Mormon. It is a conspiracy fact. And along this line, I would highly recommend to you a new book entitled None Dare Call It Conspiracy by Gary Allen."
In this talk, he was warning us about secret combinations in the USA. Then he told us to read this book called None Dare Call It Conspiracy. In fact, on the back cover of the book, he is listed first among those reputable people who praised it. On it, he said, "I wish that every citizen of every country in the free world and every slave behind the Iron Curtain might read this book." The author published this book in 1971. He says the secret combination had already been controlling the US government for 6 administrations, and their current president, Richard Nixon, was following the pattern of their last 6 administrations. This book was published at the beginning of Nixon's presidency in 1971, so when the author says the last 6 administrations, it means this secret combination took power of the US government starting with Herbert Hoover. This aligns perfectly with Ezra's eagle prophecy. This is not a coincidence. If President Benson was right, and the interpretation of Ezra's eagle is correct, we should expect them to match. And they do. They both say it started with Herbert Hoover. The author listed 10 sources of his. All of them had high security clearances in the military or in Congress. But the endorsement of President Benson should confirm to us that the claims are true. Remember, President Benson worked in the White House with President Eisenhower as the Secretary of Agriculture while he was an apostle. He saw the modern secret combination at work firsthand in the US government. Then he warned us about it in General Conference. We need to take him seriously. Now, Joseph Smith also prophesied a lot about the future of the United States of America, including that the feet of the statue of Nebuchadnezzar's dream symbolizes the United States. This makes sense according to the official church teachings that the statue and the 4 beasts in Daniel 7 represent the same 4 governments. The Institute Manual does a side-by-side comparison for us. It shows this parallel clearly, piece by piece. I encourage you to study it yourselves. Also, in Daniel 7's verse about the 4th beast, the LDS footnote for the word beast sends us to Daniel 2 and the iron legs and feet of the statue. The 4th beast is destroyed by Michael, aka the Ancient of Days, when he returns to earth, and we know that will be at the second coming. And right after the beast is burned by fire, Jesus Christ comes to earth to claim his right to rule. So we know the 4th beast dies at the second coming. It's also very explicit in 2nd Esdras that the eagle in the vision is the 4th beast which Daniel saw. God said so directly in 2nd Esdras 12. This is the interpretation of this vision that you have seen. The eagle that you saw coming up from the sea is the 4th kingdom that appeared in a vision to your brother Daniel, but it was not explained to him as I now explain to you. It is easy to see that all 3 of these visions are about the last days and the second coming, but now we know that all 3 are visions of the United States. Let me add one more beast to our list, the beast from the Book of Revelation. It shares a ton of symbolism with the other 3. 4 parts, 4 beasts. 10 horns, 10 toes, rises from the sea, all representing governments and their kings, and they all die at the second coming of Jesus Christ. All 4 of these scriptures are pointing us to the United States at the time of the second coming. I encourage you to read these scriptures for yourselves and do an in-depth personal study. Joseph Smith certainly pointed us in the right direction yet again. Now, some members of the church have a hard time with the idea that something in 2nd Esdras is true because it's in the Apocrypha. Please don't feel guilty for not knowing the truths in 2nd Esdras. Jesus told us that we are not expected to treat it like the rest of our scriptures. In D&C 91, Jesus said the Apocrypha contains many truths. It is mostly translated correctly, but it contains many changes by the hands of men that are not true. Then he says that we will obtain benefit from reading the Apocrypha if we seek to learn from the Spirit. The Bible Dictionary specifies, and I quote, "Among these books, the following are of special value." And then it puts 1st and 2nd Esdras at the top of the list. Not because the list is in alphabetical order, because it's not. 2nd Esdras truly is the second most important apocryphal book for Latter-day Saints, according to the church. I remind you that we have already been called by the prophet of God to become the righteous people who will receive the Savior at his second coming. He already said it. He did not say we will come down with Christ. He said we will receive him when he comes. He is coming back in our lifetime. The second coming is coming fast. The events in Ezra's eagle are unfolding right before our eyes. So let's watch closely and prepare to fulfill our role.